The Book of Enoch holds a unique place within Jewish apocalyptic literature, particularly in its detailed portrayal of the Watchers, the angels sent to observe and guide humanity. However, in a turn of events marked by divine rebellion, a number of these celestial beings, led by Shamsiel, transgressed their heavenly duties, sharing forbidden knowledge with mankind. This act of defiance leads to their inevitable fall, setting the stage for divine retribution. Among these fallen watchers, Kokabiel, Barchiel, and Shamsiel emerge as significant figures with particular roles tied to the cosmos, stars, and celestial wisdom. To fully grasp the interplay between these three entities and their relevance in Chapter 8 of the Book of Enoch, we must examine their symbolic, theological, and esoteric implications in the wider context of celestial law. Chapter 8 of the Book of Enoch is pivotal because it lists the specific forbidden teachings given to humanity by the fallen Watchers. This chapter details how the Watchers impart secret knowledge of the heavens, earth, and spiritual dimensions to mankind, significantly altering the course of human history. At the center of this narrative, the Watchers reveal esoteric secrets about metallurgy, weaponry, enchantments, astrology, and the medicinal properties of plants. These revelations are significant because they represent a double-edged sword. While advancing humanity's technological and scientific knowledge, they also introduce corruption, violence, and pride. In Enoch 8:3, we read, "And they revealed eternal secrets which were in heaven, which men were striving to learn." This sentence encapsulates the allure of celestial knowledge, powerful, desirable, and yet dangerous if acquired through improper means. The unveiling of these eternal secrets leads to moral decay, the proliferation of war, and the perversion of natural law, thus instigating the downfall of both man and angel. Kokabiel, Barchiel, and Shamsiel all play roles in the dissemination of this forbidden wisdom. While each angel is linked to specific aspects of the cosmos, their shared contribution to the fall of man is rooted in the transference of knowledge that should have remained hidden. One of the primary watchers mentioned in Chapter 8 is Kokabiel, whose name can be translated as Star of God or God of the Stars. Kokabiel is described as a powerful angel with dominion over the stars and astrology. His role as the keeper of the stars is significant in the context of both Enochian and broader Jewish angelology, as stars were often seen as symbols of divine order, timekeeping, and fate. According to Chapter 8, Kokabiel taught astrology to mankind. Astrology, in this context, is the knowledge of the stars, celestial movements, and their influence on earthly affairs. Kokabiel's teachings would have allowed early humans to read the heavens for omens, foretell events, and perhaps understand the cycles of nature in a new way. However, with this knowledge came the potential for misuse. Rather than reading the stars as divine messages, humanity could twist this wisdom to manipulate destiny, opening the door to hubris and defiance against the divine order. The concept of stars in Enochian tradition is not merely astronomical. They are often symbolic of angelic beings themselves, as well as divine decrees. Kokabiel's fall and transgression represent a perversion of cosmic balance, taking the heavens, which should remain pure and distant, and turning them into tools for human power and control. Astrology, while often viewed with a mystical or practical lens, also had implications for religious worship in ancient times. The stars were considered divine lights, and their movements could signify approval or disapproval from the gods. By teaching humanity how to manipulate this knowledge, Kokabiel essentially handed over a key to the workings of the universe, but it came at the price of reverence for the divine. Barchiel, also spelled Barchiel, is less directly mentioned in the primary texts of the Book of Enoch, yet plays an important role in post-Enochian angelology as the angel of blessings and lightning. His association with lightning brings him into the sphere of celestial phenomena and natural forces, making him a potent symbol of divine power. In certain traditions, Barchiel is considered a prince among angels, a figure who controls the elements of nature, particularly the sudden, uncontrollable force of lightning. This makes him both a guardian and a wielder of immense power, a bridge between the spiritual and physical worlds. Though Barchiel's role as a watcher is not explicitly outlined in Chapter 8, his possible inclusion among the fallen watchers can be extrapolated through his association with celestial signs. Like Kokabiel, Barchiel would have had the ability to manipulate the heavens, particularly through storms and lightning, which were often seen as messages from the divine. His influence over these forces could have provided humans with knowledge of controlling nature itself, thereby diminishing the awe and fear that such phenomena once inspired. The misuse of this power would further symbolize the fall from grace of the Watchers. Lightning, traditionally a symbol of divine judgment and revelation, as seen in Moses' encounter with God at Mount Sinai, becomes a tool of rebellion when appropriated by the Watchers and shared with mankind. This shift marks a movement away from divine will and towards self-serving agendas, both for angels and men. Shamsiel, also spelled Shamsiel, plays a dual role as an angel associated with the sun and as one of the chief watchers. His name means, Son of God, or God is my son, and he is often described as the guardian of the day. Shamsiel's dominion over the sun, like Kokabiel's authority over the stars, connects him directly to the mysteries of time, light, and cosmic order. In the Book of Enoch, Shamsiel is traditionally seen as one of the leaders of the fallen watchers, imparting forbidden knowledge to humanity, particularly related to the movement of the sun and celestial cycles. Like Kokabiel, his teachings would have provided humanity with knowledge of how to read the heavens, but specifically focusing on the solar mysteries, understanding the changing of seasons, the cycles of day and night, and the influence of the sun on earthly life. Shamsiel's fall is significant because the sun, throughout ancient cultures, was often revered as a symbol of divine presence and power. The act of controlling or manipulating solar knowledge represents a profound transgression, moving from understanding the sun as a source of life and light to seeing it as a tool for personal gain or manipulation. In this context, Shamsiel's fall mirrors the broader rebellion of the Watchers. By revealing the secrets of the sun, he introduces a new form of knowledge that allows humanity to separate themselves from dependence on divine cycles, thereby eroding the natural order set forth by the Creator. This act of defiance, like those of his fellow Watchers, contributes to the growing corruption of the world. The intersection of Kokabiel, Barchiel, and Shamsiel's roles in Chapter 8 of the Book of Enoch is crucial for understanding the cosmic implications of their actions. Each of these angels is associated with celestial forces, the stars, lightning, and the sun, which in ancient cultures were seen as manifestations of divine power and order. By teaching humanity how to control or manipulate these forces, the Watchers inadvertently, or perhaps intentionally, set in motion a process that destabilizes both the spiritual and physical worlds. The Book of Enoch portrays this act as a fundamental transgression, the introduction of knowledge that humanity was not ready to possess. While the Watchers may have believed they were granting humanity a gift, the consequences of their actions were far-reaching. Humanity, now armed with the power to manipulate the cosmos, begins to stray from the natural order, leading to violence, greed, and ultimately the punishment of both angels and men. The cosmic imagery of stars, lightning, and the sun also plays a significant role in the esoteric interpretation of these angels. In many mystical traditions, the stars represent fate or destiny, lightning symbolizes sudden divine revelation or wrath, and the sun embodies the source of all life and truth. By taking control of these elements, the Watchers challenge the very fabric of divine will, setting themselves up as gods in their own right. This rebellion is not merely a physical act of imparting knowledge, it is a symbolic rebellion against the cosmic order itself. By disrupting the balance of the heavens, the Watchers introduce chaos into the world, a theme that resonates throughout the rest of the Book of Enoch. The actions of Kokabiel, Barchiel, and Shamsiel in Chapter 8 represent a corruption of divine wisdom. The knowledge they impart to humanity is not inherently evil, rather, it is the misuse of this knowledge that leads to disaster. This theme of corrupted wisdom is central to the narrative of the fallen Watchers and ties into broader theological discussions about the nature of sin, free will, and divine justice. The Watchers, in their desire to elevate humanity, or perhaps themselves, overstep their bounds. They assume that by giving humanity access to celestial wisdom, they are doing a service to creation. However, they fail to recognize that humanity is not yet prepared to handle such knowledge responsibly. This leads to the proliferation of violence, hubris, and the eventual degradation of both the angels and men. Theologically, this speaks to the concept of hubris, the pride that leads to the downfall of both angels and humans. By overstepping their roles, the Watchers invite divine punishment. Their actions mirror the biblical narrative of the Tower of Babel, where humanity's attempt to ascend to the heavens and become like gods results in their downfall. In a broader theological sense, the story of the Watchers highlights the dangers of unbridled knowledge. While knowledge itself is a gift from the divine, it must be tempered with wisdom, humility, and an understanding of one's place within the cosmic order. When knowledge is used to elevate oneself above the divine or to manipulate creation for selfish purposes, it leads to destruction. From an esoteric perspective, Kokabiel, Barchiel, and Shamsiel represent different aspects of celestial and cosmic forces. Kokabiel, as the teacher of astrology, symbolizes the control over fate and destiny. Barchiel, as the angel of lightning, represents the sudden and often uncontrollable power of divine judgment and revelation. Shamsiel, as the guardian of the sun, embodies the mysteries of light, life, and truth. In esoteric traditions, stars are often seen as symbols of destiny or spiritual guidance. To manipulate the stars, as Kokabiel taught humanity, is to take control of one's own fate, potentially challenging the divine order. Astrology, while often viewed as a neutral or even positive practice today, would have been seen as a dangerous tool in the hands of those not ready to understand the full implications of controlling the heavens. Similarly, Barchiel's association with lightning can be interpreted as a metaphor for the sudden, sometimes destructive, nature of divine revelation. Lightning is unpredictable and powerful, and in many traditions, it is seen as a direct manifestation of divine wrath or favor. By giving humans the knowledge to control or interpret lightning, Barchiel allows them to harness the power of divine judgment for their own purposes, potentially leading to disastrous consequences. Shamsiel's connection to the sun represents a more subtle form of knowledge. The sun, as a source of life and light, is often associated with truth and divine wisdom. To control the sun is to control the flow of time, seasons, and the very cycles of life. Shamsiel's fall, therefore, represents the ultimate transgression, taking control of the very source of life and bending it to human will. In esoteric traditions, the sun is also symbolic of the self or the soul. By revealing the secrets of the sun, Shamsiel may be seen as imparting knowledge about the deeper mysteries of the self and the universe. However, this knowledge, when misused, can lead to spiritual pride and the downfall of the individual.